Well, Clemson Tiger fans, college football fans, welcome back to another episode of the All-In Show right here on Clemson at the Voice of College Football. I am, as always, your host, Tiger Paul Craven. Got Jordan Bowman joining me momentarily. Georgia Tech week, man. Week 3 of the college football season is upon us already. Before we know it, the season's going to be over. So even though it hasn't looked how Clemson fans wanted it to look or anticipated it to look coming into the season, we got to make sure we enjoy college football, and that's what we're going to do here tonight. Got a special guest for you guys tonight. Georgia Tech man, Rec Talk will be in the building tonight for a special edition of the All-In Show. So stay tuned for that, guys. Really excited about that. But before we get into the show tonight, a couple of housekeeping things. If you're not subscribed to the channel, we are inching ever so closely to that 6,000 subscriber mark. So help us out, help us get there in the next couple of weeks. That'd be greatly appreciated. Again, this is a live video, so the likes really help us out. If you could, while you're in here, chatting it up in the comments section and listening to the show, just hit that like button. It's free, and it really helps us out with the show. We have debuted channel memberships this year. So if you want to become a channel member, you want to support the channel on a monthly basis, I encourage you guys to go check out the various levels of channel memberships. We just did a game stream last week for channel members only. So if that's something you guys are interested in, you're interested in a little bit of bonus content that won't be on the regular channel available to everybody, consider becoming a YouTube member of this channel. And then last but certainly not least, we have this super chat feature available. We're going to have a ton of people in here tonight. There's going to be a lot of comments. So if you want to ensure that your comment and or question is read and responded to during this live episode, go ahead and hit that super chat, support the show, and we'll be sure to get to your comment and question. And with all of that said, and without further ado, I'm going to bring on my co-host, Jordan Bowman. Jordan, what's up, man? How you doing tonight? It's Georgia Tech week. Like I said, week 3 already of the college football season. It's flying by, man. It is flying by.
Yeah, absolutely, man. It is, before we know it, it's going to be over. So, you got to enjoy it while it lasts. I'm still kind of taking in what we witnessed over the weekend. It was nice chopping it up with you in the game stream. So, like you said, if you guys are interested in, kind of watching the games with us, we're going to do more of those, kind of watch along. So consider becoming a channel member, and there will certainly be more exclusive content as well. It's a great time. And it's just something that, the average Clemson Voice of College Football, viewer isn't going to be able to see. So y'all check it out. But man, how's your week been going?
Hey man, it's been going good. Busy week so far. Lots going on at work and all that. But hey, I'm excited to be here for the All-In Show. Chop it up about Clemson football and this weekend's game against Georgia Tech in Atlanta. So
absolutely, man. NFL started over the weekend too. So both of my teams look a mess. As y'all know, if you longtime All-In Show viewers know, I'm a Titans fan. Unfortunately, the Cam Ward experience, I'm excited about. I thought he played better than the stats will show, but the Titans suck. So I'm preparing myself for a long year. So let's hope Clemson kind of turns it around for my mental health, or y'all gonna see a different Jordan Bowman by the end of December. Here's to hoping.
Yeah, absolutely. I only caught one NFL game this past weekend, and it was a great game. The Ravens and the Bills. That was a crazy game. Man. Absolutely insane. So that was a lot of fun to catch on that Sunday night game. But yeah, let's quick shout out to the comment section, and we'll bring on Rec Talk and get this thing started.
Absolutely.
John Sarian gets in here first. Thank you so much for being in here. David, one of our channel members, thank you so much for supporting the channel in that way. We really appreciate it. Isaac Smith is in here. So thank you guys all for getting in here early, getting some comments in already. But we got a lot to get to. It is Georgia Tech week. We talked about this game a lot in the offseason. We even talked to our special guest tonight, Rec Talk, in the offseason about this game. So we're going to bring him on now, and we will chop it up, talk about your Jackets. Thank you so much for joining the show, Rec Talk. Appreciate you being here on short notice and being a frequent flyer now, I guess we could call you, of the
Yeah, man, for sure. Like Mike wants to know how he can become a channel member again. How does he become a channel member?
Yeah, so it should be on right below this video. You'll see a little tab that says join. And you can become a channel member that way on the tab. If you're on an iPhone, I know personally I use an iPhone, that tab does not pop up on iPhones at all. So you would have to go to your computer or go on a different device to see the join button there. And then there's a couple different, we have 3 different tiers there. You can choose between one of those 3 tiers for a monthly kind of subscription to the channel to get that bonus content that me and Jordan are doing exclusively for the channel members. So if you're on an iPhone, that's probably why you don't see it. But just go over to your computer. It'll be right under every single video, the join tab, and then you can select your tier from there.
Yeah. I don't know if it's different for like if you go to the Safari, the desktop version. I'm not sure.
Maybe the desktop version.
Safari and do it. And log in there. I actually haven't tried it, so that might be something I have to investigate myself. Or one of you guys that are interested, go look. But they got to fix that because a lot of people are iPhone users. It would make things a lot easier just to do it from the app.
Yeah, I don't know why Apple's like that, but it definitely does not pop up on the Apple when you're in the YouTube app on your iPhone.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited for this week. Pigskin Pete's coming down to stay with Rec. We're going to be going to the game. It's going to be a ton of fun. I was actually just on the ACC show talking about this game with him and Sea-Dog. And all of a sudden, if you didn't think this game was important before, it's gained new importance now. And I'm not crapping on Clemson, but due to Clemson struggling with Troy, now this seems way more must-win than it did before you played Troy.
Yeah, 100%. We talked. This game was circled for a number of reasons. In the preseason, I think for both programs. For Clemson, it was certainly one of the shaping up to be one of the tougher matchups on the schedule, especially within conference play. And obviously, it being a long time rivalry. That certainly always plays a factor into it. And then for Georgia Tech, it was going to be a measuring stick type of game. If you knock off Clemson, has the program taken that next step forward and become a true ACC title contender and by proxy a playoff contender. But obviously through 2 weeks, we've seen very, very interesting results, especially on the Clemson side of things. And that has, kind of changed the tenor of this matchup quite a bit. But our listeners have, heard us talk ad nauseum about what we've seen from Clemson, all the criticisms and the frustrations, the disappointments. But I'm sure they haven't spent a whole lot of time watching Georgia Tech and really evaluating them. But Georgia Tech 2-0 through 2 weeks. How do you feel about this team? Because from my vantage point, I don't think we know a ton. Because I think, the first week against Colorado, I don't think they played particularly well, and they still won.
Played awful.
Yeah, yeah. Especially with those early turnovers, that was one of the most baffling, kind of displays I've seen. But I think it's a testament to that team just to win that football game. And then obviously you had Gardner-Webb the next week. That you expected to win by 1 million points. You did. So, we have 2 data points that we don't really know what to take from. And then on the Clemson side of things, where, we saw what we've seen a lot of Clemson through 2 weeks. So, yeah, how would you grade Georgia Tech and what is kind of the feel for this team right now?
Man, well, first I'll say I don't know what the hell to think about this game. This is probably the game I feel like I know the least about who's going to win or how this game's going to go. Like, obviously, both these teams have problems. Georgia Tech -5 turnover margin through 2 games. 5 turnovers to start both of their first 2 games. One of which, thank God we're playing Deion Sanders in Colorado, or we would have got our asses beat. These guys are bragging about a third-string quarterback. Now, this is how bad down they are after playing Tech. They're bragging about a third-string quarterback almost throwing for 200 yards against Delaware. So thank God we opened up with them. And then the Garner-Webb thing, Philo gets hit by like 40 different guys and fumbles the ball. Then he throws off his back foot and across his body. Both of those are no-nos if you've ever played quarterback, and throws a pick. So, man, I don't know what to think about Georgia Tech. Obviously, their ground game seems to be pretty strong, and I already see it in the comments. This is the biggest talking point in Atlanta and a talking point nationally. Like, what is the health of Haynes King? And it's weird out of the Tech front. A lot of Tech fans are pissed if you say that King is anything but 100% healthy. My position has been he's never going to be 100% healthy. It's just that's where he is now. Like, if you have like 100% of your total career health, he's going to be at 85% at his best, right? Because injuries, people are not the same after they sustain injuries. Like, it takes a little bit out of your career. I don't know how healthy he is. I mean, it seems reasonable that you would sit him for Garner-Webb. Why would you let him take punishment if you can win that game without him? You have one of the best backups in the country in Aaron Philo. They're calling it a lower body injury, which I don't know if you saw in the Clemson game. He got his wiener pulled, like someone tackled him by his wiener. So my conspiracy theory is that he has a wiener injury. So I don't know. I mean, you're not like last year before we played Georgia, this was like the best kept secret that he came out and played. So I'm probably on the fringe of thinking we're going to see both quarterbacks in this game. Yeah. I don't think they're going to get equal time. I'm not committing to anything on that. I mean, part of it might be out of necessity. If you run Haynes King 25 times versus Clemson or 30 times versus Clemson, he's not going to finish the game. Clemson's going to be talented enough up front because, like, Clemson is not all of a sudden untalented. All the talent they had before the season they have now. In fact, correct me if I'm wrong, your stud wide receiver is back for this game, or that's the reports.
Oh, Antonio Williams, he's still considered, day to day. Honestly, I really don't know how to feel about it, because when Dabo has his Daboisms, and day to day is one of those things where it could mean he's coming back this week, or it means he's coming back in 4 weeks. We really don't know. And, it's a hamstring thing with Antonio Williams. And, those injuries can linger. He suffered it early against LSU. And I'm of the opinion he probably won't play. Now,
okay,
that could change. And, we could wake up Saturday and it's like Antonio Williams is good to go. He's rehabbed it very well, and they feel good about where he's at. But based on my experience in the past, and with Antonio in particular, because this isn't the first time he's dealt with lingering injuries, would not surprise me if we didn't see him. Now, I don't think Clemson needs him in order to win the football game, but it'd be very nice. And he's Clemson's best receiver, and he's Cade's favorite target. And Cade plays a lot different when Antonio Williams is on the field, as that has been shown. So, I think it would be extremely important to have him back. But I don't know. We'll see. I think those are two things we're keeping an eye on, with Antonio Williams and Haynes King. But Clemson is preparing for both quarterbacks anyway. So I'm interested to see, where situationally they implement both of them, because obviously Philo is definitely the more pocket passer of the two, and probably not as built to sustain a bunch of really Haynes King isn't built to sustain a bunch of hits, but they
quarterback
like to run Aaron Philo like they do Haynes King.
And he has the capability of running. Yeah. I mean, the thing with Clemson is, I would imagine, and this is what everyone's doing against Tech. You're going to crash the line of scrimmage. You're going to play press man coverage for the majority of this game. And you're going to say, if Haynes King's in the game, I'll be damned if he's going to run for 150 on us.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to have to throw if he's going to beat us. And that's all wrong for Tech. I mean, if I were to guess at the number of throws that Haynes King throws beyond 20 yards, I bet it's not many this season. That's kind of why I think we'll see both quarterbacks, but they're still going to pop off some runs. Tech's pretty creative in how they get the running game going. I mean, a pop pass counts as a pass, but it's a run play, right? I mean, I would consider that to be running. Now, they do have Eric Rivers that they like to pop it to, All-American that came in and a speed demon. Defensively for Georgia Tech, I think they've played about as well as any Tech fan can expect. I mean, they turned the ball over 3 times against Colorado. They give up 7 points. What they held, I mean, not that it means anything. I guess they hold Garner Webb to 12. They're pretty talented in the secondary, and they're starting 4 defensive linemen have surprised me. Kilo Stone, there's a freshman, Andre Fuller. They have Vandenberg. That starting rotation is pretty good. But once you have, I mean, you're gonna have to rotate guys in. That's where I'm a little questioning things, and that's where I think Clemson should commit to some more West Coast style offense and just throwing the ball and getting the ball out of Cade's hands quickly. I think we'll have trouble doing that. I don't think we'll be able to get a ton of pressure on Cade if you scheme things right for this game.
Well,
yeah, we have not seen that out of Clemson yet this year. And, you know, the offensive line has struggled quite a bit, much more than we probably anticipated coming into the season. So, you know, we'll see. I think on the injury front, we'll kind of know more. I think they have to release injury reports now, right? On Thursday, Friday.
I'm not sure. I think the SEC.
I know that's a rule for the SEC, but I don't know if the ACC ever implemented that rule.
I don't think that's a rule for the ACC. That's also only a rule for gambling.
I heard the reason I mentioned it, I watched Dabo's interview today, and he was asked about it, and they are going to release an injury report on Thursday.
Okay.
So I don't know if Georgia Tech will, but I know Dabo said Clemson's going to release an injury report on Thursday and Friday.
I don't think you can trust it anyway.
No,
I don't think so. I wouldn't trust it at all.
Antonio Williams is listed as a starter on Clemson's depth chart right now. So
it's just another tool for them to kind of have the gamesmanship, right, and kind of mess with the narratives and the storylines out there. I don't think there's going to be anything to pay attention. I don't think we'll know any more about whether Antonio Williams is going to play or how much Haynes King is going to play or not play. Even if both teams release their injury reports, I don't think it's going to tell us anything.
Well, I think maybe we're overlooking something because Williams is hurt.
Yeah.
Jordan, I talked with Sea-Dog. How tall are you?
I'm about 6'5".
Okay, so stupid tall.
Yeah.
What do we not see the natural thing that needs to happen?
Yeah. I mean, I see it.
Suit and put the pads on this guy.
I mean, listen, as a former JV all-conference freshman cornerback, hey, I can make the change to receiver. I mean, I'll do what I have to do. But
yeah,
no, I mean, I don't think I could start in the slot. Not for Antonio. I mean, Antonio's he's 6 foot if you're on a good day. But you know, he's every part of this offense. I just and that's what concerns me because it seems like Cade he just seems like a different quarterback when he's not on the field. But you know, you mentioned something about Georgia Tech's run game, and obviously that's coming into the season. That's the thing that terrifies me the most, especially given what Clemson has struggled with defending the run last season, especially. I think through 2 games, I've seen improvement from Clemson's run defense. I think LSU, outside of their first run, they ran for 25 yards and then they were held, below 3 yards a carry the rest of the night. I was pretty pleased with that, but then again, they were breaking in a new offensive line and they haven't looked that special since that game. So you have to wonder. And then against Troy, there were times where I think they got gashed a little bit too much. The numbers say they only gave up 79 yards, but sack adjusted, they gave up 4.1 yards per carry. Against Troy, you got to be better than that. They have a really good – that Meadows kid is really good, but you got to do better. So, with Georgia Tech and how creative they are running the ball, they remind me – their run game especially reminds me a lot of what Clemson saw against Texas last year. A lot of mid-zone, wide zone. They do a lot to get Jamal Haynes, especially just kind of get going downhill. He has
a lot of zone read.
Yeah, and zone, especially zone read, and they play a lot of out of that, and get Haynes King involved, and having to account for him makes it even more difficult. So that terrifies me about this game, because I think this is the first real test for Clemson's run game. This is the best combination of offensive line, running threat at quarterback, stable of backs that can all get it done. I think this is going to be the first true test for Tom Allen's defense in terms of how much this run defense has truly improved, or was it smoke and mirrors through 2 weeks?
Yeah, and what we'll do is try and take. I imagine you have pretty good defensive ends, right? Or PFF wise. So what Buster's going to do is say, we're going to take your best player out. So this is actually a play in NCAA 26 that's nasty, where you fake the toss sweep, and then it's an option play off the end. You can either toss it to Jamal, or King can cut it up and run it. So your tackle is going to let the end go, and then he's going to pick up the outside linebacker, and then it's just up to whoever's in the slot to pick up probably the nickel over him. Coach Rec for president, baby. Let's go. And look, that can be tough to defend. The RPO is the modern triple option. So just throwing a slant off an RPO, or letting a tight end hit the flat off an RPO. I'm sure we'll do a lot of that, especially with Haynes King. I think he can throw downfield. Like, physically, is he able to throw downfield? Yeah. Are you confident in him throwing downfield? No. The other problem with Tech has been we've had some issues with the snap, and that kills the confidence of your quarterback too, or maybe not confidence, but how rattled he is. It certainly affects that. If he feels like he's having to jump over your head at 6'5" to get a snap, that's not good. So that will be something else to pay attention to. We've played two centers, which I hate. You don't want to be not confident at who's playing center. So, it'll be an interesting game. Again, I don't know what to think about this game, because you're going to want to probably come out and be able to establish the run and take a little bit off of Cade's shoulders, forcing throws and whatnot. Last year, we were really good at run defense. This year, it's been a toss-up. Like, Colorado was the worst rush offense in the history of football last year, because they chose to be the worst rush offense in the history of football last year. They ran pretty well against Tech, so I don't know.
Yeah, I definitely look for Clemson to come out and try to establish the run early in this game. It's something that wasn't well committed to. Obviously, if you watch that LSU game, it was abysmal. We just didn't even try to run the football.
32 yards.
I still don't know if we could have ran the football against LSU. We very well might not have been able to, but we didn't even try. We did not try the running game whatsoever. Had an abysmal 31 yards rushing in that game. For a whopping 1.6 yards per carry. So that was great. And then, the first half against Troy went about as bad as it possibly could. Like, it was literally a comedy of errors. Me and Jordan were doing the game stream, and I was just laughing. Like, it was just like, what is happening right now? Like the whole pick six thing, the tip ball caught by the D lineman, he falls in the end zone. I'm just like, wow. Okay. So it's that kind of day. All right.
Yeah,
this is great. Now we're down 16-0 against Troy in the first half. But they came out in the second half. The third quarter was pretty good for Clemson as far as offensively. They committed to the run. You saw Adam Randall. I think one of the things that stood out to me for Clemson's running game against Troy, the small second half sample size that we got, was Adam Randall can be a really physical guy in between the tackles. Obviously, we knew he had the size. And the ability. But it was nice to see him, albeit against Troy, just kind of like not go down with first contact, really tough runs. He broke one up the sideline that was really nice, that he displayed that kind of speed that he has as well to go along with the power. So my hope is that Garrett Riley will get his head out of his butt and come into this game and establish the run and help his quarterback out a little bit. Because let's just be honest, Cade had a lot of high praise coming into this season. He has not looked anything close to the Cade Klubnik of 2024. He looks like 2023 Cade Klubnik. And if anybody remembers that version of Cade Klubnik, it was not good. It was not good at all. So definitely would like to see Clemson come in and establish the run.
Yeah. And teams have attacked Clemson like they do Georgia Tech, even though we're not the same style of team. Teams have committed to just putting a ton of pressure on Cade, and it's gone a little bit sideways. You'd think, if you're Cade, like, okay, if I'm just one-on-one coverage on the outside for most of this game, I'm going to be able to get a few of these off for 40 or 50 yards. And I haven't watched obviously a ton of Clemson football. I mean, have you dialed up some of those?
I mean, they've tried, and I think some of it is just, Cade has flat out missed guys. I think that's been the most frustrating thing watching him is, there've been layups that have been missed, and either he just didn't throw them or it was an inaccurate pass, and that's kind of one of the frustrating things about going back and watching some of these games, I think it's not just on him. Obviously, the offensive line holding up has been a problem, and really, I think some of their better receivers, have been up and down. TJ Moore through 2 games only has 5 catches. He came in 5-star wide receiver last year, kind of broke onto the scene towards the back stretch of last year. Really had a really nice game against Texas. And he's come into this season, and it's been tough sledding. I mean, he hasn't finished some of the opportunities he has gotten. There were a couple of big plays that against Troy that he in LSU that he wasn't able to come down with the football. The plays that he made last year, I think it's going to. He's still kind of. I think he's the one that's really still developing in a lot of ways. He's just really naturally raw talent, but. I think Bryant Wesco kind of had a nice bounce back performance last week. We'll definitely have to see more of him. And I think the guy that should be more featured in the offense that just he hasn't gotten the opportunities, even though they've been there, has been Tyler Brown, who's been an Antonio Williams replacement in the slot. He's been open a lot. He looks really good. He was coming off of injury from last season, and he looks like, he's really developed physically. And he looks really good out there. You're just like, okay, why is he not getting the football? So, Cade, really, the theme is Cade developing chemistry with the rest of his wide receivers, not named Antonio Williams. And that's been the thing that's been surprising, because especially with Tyler Brown, because he was a freshman All-American 2 seasons ago with Cade at quarterback.
Yeah, I guess that's confusing to me as not a Clemson fan, because it's not like you have a new OC. You have a lot of returning pieces on the offense, one of the most in the country. So I guess, what do you attribute this? What feels like a regression or feels like chemistry loss, or you're just not gelling? What do you attribute that to?
It's kind of puzzling as a Clemson fan to watch a little bit, because you mentioned all the returning talent. Essentially, Clemson only turned over talent at the tight end position and the running back position. That's really all we're replacing on the entire offense. And that was an offense that was, pretty explosive last year. And as the season went on, they got really good, outside of the running game at the back end of last season because of Phil Moffitt's injury. But you really thought, and you really felt good coming into this season with kind of where our offense was going to be. I thought we would hit the ground running. Again, I always knew LSU was going to be a tough game. I had no inclination of Clemson going in there and just splattering LSU in any way. I knew that was going to be a close game. But the offense certainly has looked nothing like any of us thought it would. And I think part of it is the offensive line in particular is not playing as well as we thought they would. They took a huge step last year under Matt Luke in year 1. And this year it looks like they've kind of regressed a little bit. And then your best player on the field, the leader of your team, your quarterback, he hasn't played well. Just flat out, just being honest, Cade Klubnik hasn't played well this year. And I think with those two particular position groups, and then, we've had some drops with the wide receivers. Jordan mentioned, more there. And he's had some drops. Wesco's had some drops there. And then obviously the injury to your star wide receiver in Antonio Williams. And I think it's a lot of little things, but Clemson just can't seem to, they haven't as of yet seemed to kind of hit that stride. They need a game where it kind of clicks offensively for them.
Right.
I don't know that it's going to be against Georgia Tech this week. That's a tough opponent, but they really need to see the offense kind of just click for them. And it's been an uphill battle all season. And there's a lot of position groups that you felt like you knew what you were going to get. We've kind of gotten the opposite.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, Gideon thus far has been fairly aggressive. Now, Blake Gideon never called plays before. He has been fairly aggressive in his play calling. I feel like that's because he knows the weak point of that defense is the defensive line. And I would think coming into this game, his thought would be, well, Cade's looking to find his confidence. Let's not let him find that. Let's be aggressive. Let's blitz. And see what happens, and see if he can beat us through the air. I guess we'll see.
If I was Georgia Tech, that's exactly what I would do. I would come after Cade over and over again until proven that it's not going to work.
Yeah,
I would make him prove me wrong. That he's going to be able to stand in the face of that pressure, keep his eyes downfield, read what he's seeing in the back end, and deliver good footballs. Because he has not shown that so far this season. So if I was the Georgia Tech defensive coordinator, that's exactly what I would do. I would bring a lot of pressure, and I would try to ramp up, the stress and the anxiety, and try to get in his head early and hit him early. And then hopefully we can hold up in the back end and we don't have wide receivers running wide open.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the LSU game plan, I mean, it exposed a lot. I mean, I would do anything, straight blitzes, stunts, twists, lots of, because not only has Cade looked confused when you do that, the offensive line has not done a good job at passing those off and being set in their protections either. So, you couple those two things together, and it's like, it doesn't matter if Bryant Wesco breaks open down the field, because is Cade going to see him, or is he going to look down and try to escape the pocket, too soon, or is he not going to be able to find his check downs or his outlets? Those are things that through two games we haven't seen him do very well, and it's been really frustrating because you see the opportunities there and they're not being made. I see some people in the chat talking about Clemson's tight ends. Olsen Pat Henry has been great. He's caught everything that's been thrown to him, but he doesn't get the ball thrown to him enough.
He had one target last week.
Yeah, one target last week. Christian Bendiker, the redshirt freshman, who I think is going to be one of the better tight ends to come through Clemson, when it's all said and done. He's shown a lot of flashes. Doesn't get enough. He doesn't get on the field enough. Clemson obviously has no shortage of options, offensively, but it really comes down to the signal caller and the five guys protecting him, because they, and of course, the play caller himself, but it has to be, those guys have to execute, because we can blame Garrett Riley for so much, but then there are good play calls being made. There are plays to be had. The offensive output is not solely just because Garrett Riley's a fraud and all that. I mean, so that's the thing I'm waiting to see. I saw somebody in the chat ask about AJ Hoffler. What have you seen from him so far?
I could be wrong. I want to say he's been injured somewhat, and let me just go look at the stats on the Hoffman. No. Never mind. So he had 6 solo tackles versus Colorado. Well, he's got 6 solo tackles for the season. Okay. Truth is, I don't know. I'll tell you what's interesting to me about this game is that as a Tech fan, I would have loved for you to beat LSU by 2 scores and beat the full out of Troy.
Yeah.
and then be looking ahead in your schedule to whoever. So that didn't happen. So now you get a very focused. You're going to get the best Clemson team that you can get. Like, there's not going to be any looking ahead.
You would think.
But then you got Georgia Tech with issues, and we haven't beat you since 2015. So you got Tech looking to take a step up. So you're going to get the best scheme, game plan, preparedness from Tech as well. And that's another reason why I don't know what to think about this game. Like, I'm not even going to do a prediction for the game because I don't know. I'll probably preview it when we get off here. But I don't know, man. I don't know what Georgia Tech team's going to show up, what Clemson team's going to show up. Because, like, with Cade, sometimes when you see, like, you have hitters getting slumps, you have quarterbacks getting slumps. Sometimes they try and Brett Favre their way out of it and just sling it, and then that goes really well or really horrible. So.
Yeah, absolutely. It's certainly this game is kind of hard to get a read on. I think, Jordan mentioned it earlier. This is going to be the biggest test so far for Clemson as far as stopping the run and seeing how much improved we are with doing that this year, which we were pretty awful last year at doing. We've been improved, but I still think we have some missed tackling issues. I still think we allow too many explosive runs through 2 games. We've done a much better job this year, but not a great job in any means when it comes to that. So that's kind of a key for me to the game is what does Clemson's run defense look like? Are they able to limit Georgia Tech's explosiveness on the ground? And if they are, you feel good about the outcome. But if they're not, it can turn into a long game pretty quickly, right? So it's an interesting game. It really is. I don't feel great about it, and it's kind of one of those things. It's not necessarily like a must win for Clemson, but it certainly feels like a must win for Clemson.
I'm calling it a must win.
With how
I'm going all the way.
Yeah, with how the season has started, and you look at Georgia Tech's schedule after Clemson, they have a pretty favorable schedule. So if you drop one to Georgia Tech, you could find your way on the outside looking in of the ACC championship game, because I think Georgia Tech is a pretty good team and can rattle off a lot of wins this year. So if you drop one to them, they got one up on you, and you could be that first team out of the ACC championship, even if you go on and have a better rest of the season. So it's kind of this is a much bigger deal. I mean, this was a game that we were looking at preseason as a game that obviously Clemson could potentially lose. Sort of not a trap game, but kind of a weird game in that sense. But it's definitely ramped up in its importance to, I think, both teams, but particularly on Clemson's side, because the season has not gone well. And the national narrative around Clemson has drastically fallen from where people thought they were preseason. So you go out and lose this game, I mean.
Yeah, I think the lines move.
It's kind of, you start the season 1-2, your only win being over Troy. Man, it's going to get ugly in Tiger Town. So Clemson's got to go out there and win this game. They really do. I think Georgia Tech could lose it, still be fine, and maybe even still find their way into the ACC championship game, even if they lose to Clemson. But I'm not so sure for the other way around for the Tigers.
Yeah, maybe it's hard to say. I mean, the lines move from 9.5 to 3.5, or somewhere about there. So that tells you the perception of what people think.
Yeah, that tells you where all the money's going. That tells you what people think.
A ton of money went down on Georgia Tech with minus 9.5. I think another key will be like a staple of Buster Faulkner's offense is motion and eye candy. So how disciplined will you be on defense? Go watch Georgia Tech this year or last. How many plays there were not motion in? Almost every single play there's motion, which one is going to signal, not every time, but are you in man or not? All right, so now we know you're in man, and if you are, we can just motion that guy out of where we want the play to go, and then you just got to be disciplined, because also both Haynes King and Jamal Haynes are great at cutting the ball back where it needs to go. So if you hear Nick talk about this, if you're not gap disciplined, Tech can definitely hurt you. And if we don't have to throw the ball, we're not. I mean, if you just let us run on you, we'll run.
That's what worries me, is those cutback runs, those back-breaking runs where, you could see a world where Tech's kind of beating their head against a brick wall, and then it takes one cutback and it's a 60-yard explosive run, right? Those are just runs that critically kill a defense. They're back-breaking runs. They're demoralizing, right? You get them to 3rd and 5, or even Clemson this year. One of the parts of their defense they need to clean up is 3rd and long. They are allowing far too much success from teams on 3rd and long. So that's the part that worries me about Tech, is those explosive runs. And they're not gonna rattle off 15 yards every time they run the football, but it's those 3 yards, 5 yards, and then a 40-yarder, right? And it just wears your defense out. And if Clemson's offense isn't any better in this game, and they're still sputtering and stumbling, and there's a bunch of 3 and outs, you can find yourself in a bad way.
Yeah, and what does Georgia Tech want to do? We want to control the clock. I mean, how do you beat teams that are better than you? Well, you got to win. You got to score. Let's keep that part of Clemson off the field and just not let you have an opportunity to score with an 8-minute drive down the field. That's what Georgia Tech wants to do.
Yeah, shorten the game, limit the number of possessions. I mean, that creates wider variance. I mean, that's just numbers. And so, that's it. And Georgia Tech has, through the Brent Key era, they have been really good at that. And that's, and the big games they have won have been, where they've done a good job at controlling the clock, being the team that wins the time of possession, which Clemson has lost in both games they've played. And it's been to their it was really to their detriment against LSU. And it at a certain point, it's okay, you can't keep losing the time of possession by 7+ minutes. I mean, your defense is going to give up. They're going to give up drives. They're going to get gassed. It's just the nature of human beings. So that worries me a ton too, because this defense, especially in recent years, they've, as talented as they've been, and they've had some really great players, they get worn down. The dam kind of breaks sometimes, and in some of those big games last year, we saw that. So I don't know.
Yeah, that's the other interesting thing about Tech. Tech's problems have been dropping games you shouldn't, like Bowling Green and whatnot. What their problem hasn't been is getting up for big games. I think I forget what the stat is. He's 6-1 against ranked ACC opponents. I mean,
that's not good. I don't like that stat.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Miami comes into town. You have a MacGyvered together Haynes King that later it came out couldn't throw more than 5 yards.
Yeah.
And they play hokey pokey with King and Philo and beat the best Miami team we've seen. I don't know, since Testaverde was there. I don't know. I don't even know if he played there, but it doesn't matter. He gets up for big games though. So that's another kind of man, I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. The one thing I'll ask you about this, on Clemson's side that has been pleasantly surprising has been special teams. Clemson's punting game. The one thing that we were the most unsure about coming into the season has been truly a strength, and you needed it to flip the field with the offensive struggles. But Jack Smith is averaging over 45 yards a punt. He's been pretty phenomenal, and was not expecting that, and not what I was hearing out of camp. So it goes to show some guys are just not practice guys. So as far as Georgia Tech's side of things, where do you think special teams will play? Whether it's kicking, punt, return game, especially they definitely have some guys that have some juice. Where do you think that'll be a part of the game they utilize?
Well, first, that Miami wasn't great. They had the best offense in the country last year.
Yeah, they averaged 40 points a game. They're the number one offense and the number one overall pick at quarterback.
Their defense was pretty suspect, but I mean, they had the number one overall pick on their team. Either way, as far as Georgia Tech special teams, it's been a little bit of a clown show. During the Colorado game, they put a white dress on a guy. He was wearing a quadruple X jersey for no discernible reason, just to do it. And then he took what probably should have been a safety, but they put it down on the 1 yard line. So I have no idea what that was. I even got mad because Brent Key kind of made light of it. And I'm like, what you did? Why? All this money, you got $20 million in revenue share. You've got, all these players making $1 million. You can't afford a $300 jersey or whatever they. What are you doing, man? We had a muffed punt.
He looked like one of them kids running around, like a coach's kid running around on the sideline with a jersey on.
Yeah.
Well, during the stream, I said, put my fat ass out there. At least the jersey would fit me. I'm not going to get slung down by my jersey. It's going to be skin tight. You put Do Buddy from Remember the Titans out there. I don't know what that was.
Why? So why'd they put that jersey? Was there double numbers on the field? Is that why?
I think that's why.
Probably.
Yeah.
Which also, side note, why did we have multiple numbers for the same player, or the same player has the same number? You can have an offensive number 3, you can have a defensive number 3. Just one. Anyone who's done data science, I know I'm a nerd. Unique number. Unique. Why? Why do we have defensive linemen that are number 0? Why do we have number 0? Numbers are weird. You can't divide by it. Why are defensive linemen wearing it? If you divide by it, you can literally make that positive or negative infinity, depending on which limit side you take from positive or negative number. Anyways, the special teams have been super hit or miss, though. To answer your question. 0 isn't a number. I mean,
it is a number.
0 is its own animal. There's indeterminate form, 0 over 0. It's a rabbit hole we don't need to go down.
Yeah, we could go into number theory and the logic, the mathematical logic, if you want. No, let's not do that,
dude. So I got a 90-day ban from streaming for my own stupidity, but I have an alternate channel, and we talked about hardcore physics in a football video for like an hour for no reason either.
That sounds like my type of show, man.
That made as much sense as that jersey that guy wore, though. So that's what we did.
Georgia Tech show ever.
Yeah, I mean, y'all should have invited me. We could have
talked about Einstein leaving his wife for his cousin. I did not know Einstein was a Georgia fan until then.
Yes,
it is what it is. But anyways, you have the game, dude. What do you think? Do you think Clemson wins? If I put a gun to your head, said you got to put your life savings on who wins this game, what do you think?
I mean, okay. So if I were a neutral observer, which it's hard to speak because obviously I'm not a neutral observer. Yeah. You can't eliminate that. But when I look at football games, I mean, especially in college football, I always tend to err on the side. Okay, more talented team wins 60-70% of the time in college football. But that talent is also hard to quantify, and that's what makes it difficult. The thing with this game is, and you kind of touched on it, the fact that Clemson is 2 games in and they haven't looked good is almost give you more pause at picking them to lose this game, because you're just waiting for the law of averages to kind of show its head and say, okay, the team that has this potential is playing way below it right now. And when is that moment that they put it together? I don't know if it's going to be this game. For last season, especially for Clemson's offense, that game was immediately after Georgia, App State. They put up like 50 points in the first half. It was an offensive explosion we haven't seen in Clemson in quite some time. But Georgia Tech is not App State, and this game, I mean, this particular team shouldn't have to have gone through the struggles they've gone through 2 weeks with all that they had returning at quarterback, coordinator, offensive line, receiver, you name it. So I want to say this is a bounce back week for Clemson, and but I don't know if it's going to be as pretty as maybe Clemson fans would want it. I don't think this is a game where Clemson's like, oh, the offense just wakes up and they put up 45 points.
You know what would be, Jordan, you know what would be the most Clemson thing ever with how this season's gone so far is the offense figures it out on Saturday and the defense struggles.
Dude.
Like that would be the most Clemson thing ever.
Like 48
like 2022 Wake Forest. Like
there's
DJ puts up
there's
400
legitimately
yards.
a world where I could see this game being like 42 to whatever, like a shootout almost.
45-42.
Like I'm half joking, but like I could seriously see that happen. Like I could totally see with how this season's going for Clemson, their offense going out there and we're like, finally. And then the defense can't stop the run.
Yeah.
And Georgia Tech scoring a bunch of points as well. Like I could totally see that happening. If I had a gun to my head and I had to pick, I'm gonna roll with Clemson. Just because of talent. And I feel like because they've struggled early this season, like they're due to like cause some damage on offense. But again, I don't feel great about it. I don't feel great either way. But yeah, I would have to go to Clemson, but I don't think Clemson's going to like go in there and like blow Georgia Tech off the field. Like that's not happening.
I think this is going to be an ugly football game. I think it's going to be an ugly football game.
Yeah.
I really do. I think Tech is going to do a good job of mucking things up. They're going to do a lot in the ground game, like Rec Talk mentioned, in terms of ball control. And I think Clemson is still going to have its struggles in the passing game. And maybe they established the run a little bit better. Maybe they figured something out in the second half against Troy, and maybe lean on and actually give the ball to your 6'2", 230-pound back. Yeah, he's a receiver, a converted receiver, but he moves pretty well at that size. I mean, I wouldn't want to tackle him, and Troy certainly didn't want to tackle him in that second half.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like I would not pick Georgia Tech to win this game if you put a gun to my head. One, we haven't won it since 2015, and I've said, look, I'm not picking Georgia Tech to beat Clemson or Georgia until they do it once. Like I got to see it. Like you got to get over this hump of just getting dominated by your damn rivals. I mean, it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. So I think it's going to be an ugly game on both fronts. Like I can't believe I didn't catch more flack for this from my own fan base. I ranked Georgia Tech in the middle of the pack of the ACC because I'm like, look, you're not going to turn the ball over 5 times in 2 games, and I'm gonna be that impressed with you. Like that's going to get your ass run off the field in this game probably. Like you're not going to be able to give Clemson 2 or 3 extra possessions. You also can't control the clock when you give the ball away.
True.
So
they got to get that figured out. And I don't have any reason to think that changes in this game. Why would I think that?
Yeah, and that's one thing that Clemson did. I mean, in that miraculous comeback against Troy last week, that was what they did well in the second half was they got the turnovers. The Clemson's defensive backs, I think they've surprised. Some of them have surprised me in a lot of ways. I think their safeties have been a really nice. They've been really nice, and I wasn't really sure what to think. They were replacing a longtime starter in R.J. Mickens, but Ronan Hannafin is an emerging star at safety. Tink Kelly has played a good bit, and you haven't heard his name called a whole bunch, which is good to hear. I mean, he's a guy that we weren't really sure about. He was kind of deeper in the depth chart, but he's played more than I thought. Ricardo Jones, I think, has all the talent in the world, and I think he's only going to get better. So, they made plays against Troy in terms of turning the ball over. Now, will they get a turnover where the ball bounces off of one defender's butt and then and then the other one picks it up and takes? I don't think you're going to get that kind of. Well, I don't know. Maybe it would be a very tech thing to do, but I don't think we're going to see a repeat of that. But I do think turnovers are going to play a huge role in this game because K. Klubnik has. I mean, Clemson in general, offensively, they've turned the ball over. Whether it was they turned it over twice against Troy this past week with the Adam Randall fumble, and then the pick six tipped off the defensive lineman, caught by the defensive lineman. So it's going to be a game of who can play this game the cleanest, and neither team has played their games clean so far. So that's going to be it's going to be a hell of a thing to watch, and going to be miserable for both of us, or all three of us, in terms of watching that. So
I got a feeling I'm going to be pissed off watching this game. So
yes,
just one of those things.
I'm with you.
All right, Rec Talk. I think we've kept you. Thank you so much for joining us. Second time frequent flyer, as TPC said. You do great work. Go ahead and for everybody that's new and that maybe those of you that didn't watch our Georgia Tech preview in the preseason, go ahead, plug your stuff. You are a pillar of the Georgia Tech YouTube and social media community. So just go ahead and
I did.
And tell them.
I did see someone asking. Someone pulled the Conor McGregor on me in here. Who the hell is this guy? I'm Rec Talk. All right. Yeah, I'm a Georgia Tech YouTuber. I've branched out to talking about more teams, and usually when I do that, it's to trash someone, like the embarrassment that is Colorado and Deion Sanders there. I'm wearing this shirt for Blue Chew Bill Belichick. He's currently embarrassing himself in Chapel Hill. He's trying to kill their team. It was already dead, which is impressive. But you can find me on YouTube. I also have an alternate channel now, and anyone who's done this for any length of time has to make an alternate channel because YouTube's fickle. They get pissed off about stupid things.
That's right. They sent you to the gulag. I saw that. Yeah.
They did. They sent me to the gulag. I'm also at Rec Streams, so I'll be streaming the game over there. Actually, Matt Be Great, if y'all guys know who that guy is, got completely hosed by they took him out of the YouTube partnership program for no reason, for saying he's not original content, which if he's not original content, I've never seen it. So that's just the nature of YouTube and AI taking over. But yeah, you can find me there. I'm also on Twitter at @rec_talk because some porn bot hacked my at rec talk. So now I have to be _. So I just say really dumb things into a microphone and then go about my day.
Well, we all enjoy it. And as another person that says dumb things on a microphone, I appreciate what you do.
Equally dumb things come out of the show. I assure you. Real quick, last thing before you leave, Rec Talk. Saturday afternoon, 3-4 o'clock. Georgia Tech wins this game. What does it look like?
Well, we're going to rush the field if we win this game.
Is Pete going to rush the field with you?
No, but this has been discussed. So I don't know if you guys know who Huffer Billy Paul is. He's probably
I know who Huffer Billy Paul is. Of course we both do. Of course we do.
Probably the most active user on TigerNet. Probably 90% of the comments.
I'm pretty sure he owns TigerNet.
He's TigerNet personified. Like if you
he's going to be there with us too. He's down bad. So in a text chain we have with each other, he says that if Georgia Tech wins, he's going to bring a paper. I'm not making this up. I have to preface this by saying this is true. I'm not this creative. He's going to bring a paper bag, I guess, and cut 2 eye holes out of it to hide his identity to rush the field with the team's fans that just beat his team. First of all, no one's more down on Clemson than Huffer Billy Paul.
I know he's going through it.
1-11, according to Huffer Billy Paul. So he's so bad. In fact, we got 5 seats. Pete said, put me on the far side. Put me and Huffer Billy Paul as far away from one another as possible. That's fine. Now we'll be on the 7th row, so we'll be right on the field. But yeah, we'll rush the field. We are going to go to Vortex, which if you're not familiar with Atlanta, Vortex is this restaurant. It's a burger place that you have to show ID to get into. They have scantily dressed goth women, which is right up my alley. You have daddy
I've
issues,
never heard
I'm
of
here
this,
for it.
but where is this establishment so I can
It's in Midtown.
avoid it?
No, it's it's in Midtown. They have a 4-foot tall wooden penis when you walk in. I mean, it's a hell of a time. Now, we've also solicited Pete to go to Claremont Lounge. Now, if you don't know about Claremont Lounge, to call it a strip club is a misnomer. It is a strip club, but it's more entertainment. It's like 60-year-old women. There's a bartender that will open the beer with her boobs in it. So we'll probably do that, and then we'll go watch some college football, I guess, because we're going to get down to some debauchery. There's a ton of debauchery to be found in Atlanta.
Yeah, of
How
course.
sauced is Huffer Billy Paul going to be?
Oh man, I don't fairly, because he already texted me and he's like, "Look, I'm taking Marta because I'm gonna be drinking a lot." I'm like, okay.
I'll be on the TV broadcast. I'll be looking for the guy with the paper bag.
Yes,
running around.
He doesn't know that if that happens, he's going to become internet famous.
Yeah, he's going to be on TV.
Oh, for sure.
And I'm here. I'm here for it.
He also might spend, a night in the in jail.
In Fulton County, or no, I don't know if that. I guess it is Fulton County. Yeah, I told Papa Rec, I was like, look, if I get arrested at one of these games, like I need you to come get me, because if you don't know me, like I don't have good sense in my head, and I'll say some shit to people for sure. And he said, I'm not doing that anymore. I'm not doing it again. And I was like,
again.
You're getting too old for this. No.
He's had to bail me out of Athens, if that gives you any inclination. Out of Clark County.
Can't imagine what went wrong there.
Yeah. The hell with Georgia. I mean, here's the thing. Look, I'm divorced. I won the last argument, and that's all that matters to me. If there's something to be won, by God, I want to win it.
Oh man, well, if I see you in Huffer Billy Paul, especially Huffer Billy Paul, I'm gonna be like the Leonardo DiCaprio meme. I'm gonna sit up in my chair and point. oh, yeah, I know that guy. I can't wait. But yeah, man, thank you so much for joining us tonight. This has been great.
All right, man.
We'll see what happens Saturday. This is the most anticipation I've had for a matchup with Georgia Tech in quite some time, and I don't say that lightly, because even in recent years, don't know what I'm going to get when we play. I mean, I remember the last year of Jeff Collins, or
no, it was the second to last, where it was like 14-8.
Yeah, terrible game.
That game lives in my memory. Like a James Skalski goal line stand.
Yeah.
And then they gave up a safety right before it to make it 14-8. It was one of the weirdest football. Who was the starting quarterback for that game? It was
Jeff Sims. All right, we'll talk about that before I get off too, because
there was another one. What was his name? Jordan something. I think his name was Jordan
Yates.
Jordan Yates. Yes.
Yeah, the guy that put out a video saying what it's like to play Georgia's defense. Screw that guy. Screw that guy. First of all, Jeff Collins is lifting weights when y'all had Trevor Lawrence before the game as to try to intimidate the number one team in the country.
That was right before 73. Yeah.
I went to Chapel Hill.
Out there doing hang cleans and stuff.
Yeah, they're doing damn deadlifts. Like you got a game to play. Why are you lifting weights to muscle exhaustion for? What kind of sense does that make? I made a special trip to Chapel Hill last year. I knew he was an on the sidelines defensive coordinator. I got seats right behind that turd, and I yelled at him the entire game. Hey, Jeff, why do you not wear socks? He doesn't wear socks. And I tell you what, he's been real quiet since Rec Talk come up there. He's been real quiet.
Did he interact with you at all?
No, but when we got there about 45 minutes before the game. And the guy, so there were some Tech fans that came up with me, and this guy just yells, Jeffrey! So like the whole stadium can hear it. And he didn't, well, first of all, I had to challenge him to a cage match on Twitter before that game. And then he blocked me on Twitter after that, which means, because I challenged him to a cage match on a YouTube video, which means he watched the video.
Yeah,
exactly.
And then
Jeff Collins watches Rec Talk on YouTube.
Yeah, and
Jeff
then
Collins ducked that smoke. Even more importantly,
yeah, let me tell you something,
I
man.
want no part of that.
I might be a big guy, and by big I mean a disgusting fat body, but I'm athletic. You can ask Pete. This isn't much of a brag, but I am more athletic than Pete. It's not hard to do. I don't. Pete, how do you
Pete run?
How are you 160 pounds and you let someone who at the time was 280 pounds?
Yeah.
I can outrun Pete.
I've seen those Slob Olympics videos.
Yeah. The one where he fell.
Where Pete, I fell too. I fell right. The first thing that hit was my
Everybody
C3 and
fell.
C4.
Yeah.
I got up though. I got up.
That's a requirement at the Slob Olympics. You know, you just.
Yeah, I got a call from Tech after like we saw the slobs, man. You got any eligibility? What do you think? Oh, like a college athlete. All right, man. I'm gonna get out of here. Y'all have a good one.
All right, you take
Appreciate
care, man. Thank you
Thanks
so
for
much.
stopping by.
Rec Talk, everybody. I posted the link to his YouTube channel in the chat. I already lost it. There it is. Y'all go subscribe to him. Makes great content, Georgia Tech content, and like he said, he's done a lot of overall college football content. So if you're just a college football fan and you don't even really care about Tech, he's very entertaining. He's going to tell you what he thinks, and he's gonna give it to you in an entertaining way. So y'all go check him out. Love having him on, and hope to have him back again.
Yeah, good dude for sure.
All right. We kind of already talked about the keys to the game. But actually, we want to hit an ad break real quick.
Yeah.
All right, let's do that first.
All right, guys, make sure you're checking out the Voice of College Football website. That's right. We have a Voice of College Football website, your one-stop shop for all things Voice of College Football. Check it out right there. I'll put it up on the screen so you guys can see it. Voice of College Football website. You got various articles there. You got all your team pages there, your show schedules, basically any and everything Voice of College Football. You can find it right here on vocfb.com. That's vocfb.com. Check it out. Go make an account over there. Let us know what you think. And that would be greatly appreciated. We're trying to get some more traction over there on the website. All right, Jordan, we kind of talked about it with Red Talk a little bit, but let's go ahead and wrap it up with, keys to the game. What if things go right for Clemson on Saturday in Atlanta, 12 noon kickoff? What does that look like offensively? And then what does that look like defensively?
Yeah. Keys to the game for Clemson. Offensively, I definitely think this is another game. I mean, last week against Troy, I said run the ball, and they waited till the second half to listen to me because, of course, they did. And when they were already down 16 points or 13, I guess, at the half. But let's not wait till the second half to do that, because I think you'll get beat and you won't have enough time, and you won't get the crazy turnover luck that you did against Troy. If you're down by 16 points in this game, because it's against a team like Georgia Tech, a multi-possession deficit is going to feel like it's going to feel like four possessions and not two. So I need to stay ahead of the chains, keep Cade on schedule, get him comfortable for whatever it is you have to do. I mean that's one way to get a quarterback comfortable is to give him easy throws, but another way to get him comfortable is just to run the football. Take the ball out of his hands. Feel like he can trust that he has the running game. I mean, and you saw when Clemson established run in the second half against Troy, all of a sudden those play action shots were hitting to Bryant Wesco. He was getting over the top with a lot of separation because it forced everybody on that defense to bite on those run fakes. I mean, it's simple football, but I mean that's the key to the game. I mean, you're going to have to find a way to establish the run early and not have to rely on Cave's arm, because at this point you don't trust that he's going to make the plays that are there. So run the football, don't turn the ball over. Please don't turn the ball over. I don't want to. I mean, this has been 2023 in a lot of respects, but they haven't turned the ball over to the same degree that they did in that season. So let's knock on wood. But let's hope that they actually hang on to the football. So run the football and hang on to it. That's my key to the game. Pretty simple.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously run the football. I think getting Cade some easy throws early too, to get him in rhythm. Maybe a couple design quarterback runs. I know that, when Cade, finds space running the football, it fires him up. And I think that may be able to calm him down a little bit as far as offensively. Defensively, for me, keys to the game for Clemson are stopping the run, right? It's going to be vitally important that you stay gap sound against Georgia Tech. Rec Talk referred to those cutback lanes that Haynes Kings like to do, and Justice Haynes likes to do as well. So that's going to be a key. Eye discipline with all the motion and the eye candy and the pre-snap stuff that Georgia Tech's going to do to try to get you to pay attention to the wrong things. The defense got to come in and just be focused about what is my job on this play and do that job. Don't get caught up in looking at the stuff that they're trying to shake the shiny object over here. And then they're going to hit an explosive on the other side. So that's for me, for the defense. Be physical, right? I want to see this defensive line really assert their dominance, really reset the line of scrimmage. And that's not easy against a team like Georgia Tech. They have a pretty decent offensive line. Obviously, Brent Key, he's big on offensive line play, and he's all about physicality, and he kind of instills that into his team. So it's going to be a physical game. It's going to be a gut check for this defense. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to seeing this real big test for that Clemson run defense, and to see how we hold up against a team that they don't care. They're going to run the football. Regardless of what you do, Georgia Tech is going to try to run the football. So I'm excited to see what the defense does and how they hold up with that. So, I mean, that's kind of it's basic stuff, but Clemson's got they need to win this game in a big way. We need this win. And honestly, it doesn't really matter how you win the game. You just need to get out of here with a W. It would be nice if we saw the offense on display that we were expecting to see this season. It would be nice that the defensively, your run defense is improved and it looks great. Like, that would be great. But in reality, Clemson just needs to get out of this game with a win. You can't afford to lose this game. You can't afford to start the season 1-2. There's a lot of the oxygen in the building has already been sucked out when it comes to the narrative and just kind of the feel around the team right now. So you got to get some of that back with a win at Georgia Tech.
Yeah, absolutely. And just I'm scared because especially defensively. I mean, I'm worried just because of they have. Georgia Tech has playmakers. You can stop the run, but they also they have good receivers. I mean, Eric Rivers, as Rec Talk already mentioned. I mean, He was an All-American last season. He absolutely has the ability, if you key too much in on the run, where you get beat up over the top. He's a deep threat. They use him in a lot of motions. They get creative with getting him the football. Malik Rutherford is the smaller, slot guy that they give a high volume of targets to and let him get a lot of run after catch opportunity. So those you gotta take away their playmakers, their best players, and force somebody else to beat you. It's really that simple. Whether it's Jamal Haynes or Rivers, Rutherford, and of course, Haynes King, and obviously just being prepared to see two quarterbacks. I think they, I definitely think they'll play both, and Aaron Philo definitely gives them that deep passing play ability. He broke Trevor Lawrence's Georgia high school records coming out of high school. I mean, the guy was a winner in high school, and he's shown promise already through 2 seasons. And last week against Georgia Tech, he played really well, or against Gardner Webb, he played really well. So we'll see, how that translates, and whether Clemson is prepared for whatever Georgia Tech has got dialed up when he gets in the game.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll see. Lots of interesting, storylines heading into this game. We'll see, kind of how this team can, hopefully Clemson can go out there and start fast, and not dig themselves a hole like they've done, and just not start well like they've done the previous 2 games this season. They need to go out there and get some momentum going early, I think, to just kind of calm the nerves of everybody, specifically Cade Klubnik. But we shall see. We shall see how it goes. All right, guys, the Voice of College Football also has merch. I mentioned the website earlier, but we do have a merch website as well. I'm going to put it up here on the screen for you guys to see. And then let me go ahead and put the link in the chat section. That's where you can go find the Voice of College Football merch for the Clemson channel. As you guys can see here, there's a couple different options that you have. Got some different hats there. Got your camo one. Comes in different colors. Your plain black one also comes in a gray, a tan, and then a lighter tan. And then this shirt as well, VOCFB Clemson, comes in a variety of different colors as well. Some more T-shirts, crew necks, polos right here. Again, there's a couple different color options for each of those as well. And then down here, you got your tumbler, you got your mug, and then obviously a can koozie, can cooler there that you can find over there on the website, VOCFB-shop. Go over there, check it out, and get yourself some merch and help support the channel in that way as well. And you also get something cool to wear and sport around, and let them know that you are a listener of the Voice of College Football Clemson channel, and we would greatly appreciate you guys' support with that. All right, Jordan, we've kind of talked about this game as much as we possibly can, all the different angles and things that we think are important heading into this game. And it is that time of the week again for us to lock in our score predictions. We have not done great the past 2 weeks, Jordan. I'm going to be honest. I'm a little disappointed with our performances.
You think?
We should probably be fired and just stop doing score predictions altogether. But we all know we're not going to do that. We're going to keep predicting the score. Eventually, we got to be right with one of them.
Yeah,
right?
we'll get close one of these days.
Yeah. One would think eventually we would be right with one of these. So it wasn't like we thought last week. Clemson's offense still sputtering and stumbling and not getting out of their own way. But let's go ahead with the Georgia Tech score prediction this week. I think you started last week. So I'll give my score prediction first this week. I'm going to go Clemson 34, Georgia Tech 24.
Okay. So you think the offense finds some rhythm, gets things going, and we feel a little bit better coming. I would take that result right any day now.
Yeah, I do think the offense gets going a little bit. I think they find a rhythm in this game a bit. I just feel like eventually Cade's going to break through. Like, I don't think he's going to be as bad as he has been in the past 2 games all season. I just refuse to believe that. And maybe eventually I'm wrong on that, and we see that he has truly regressed permanently this season, but I don't believe that to be the case. I think he's put a lot of pressure on himself. That's clear. And I think he just needs to chill out and just play football. And if he does that, I think the offense will have a good day. And I think the defense does good enough against the run. Georgia Tech's still going to get theirs. I think they're still going to score some points, but that's how I see it going down, 34-24. Clemson gets the win on the road, and maybe everybody can breathe a little bit easier heading out of Atlanta, Georgia this Saturday.
All right. I'm also taking I'll also take Clemson to win the football game, but I think this is going to be kind of an ugly football game in a lot of respects. I think we'll see some turnovers. I still can't shake what I've seen through 2 weeks. And I think that maybe they get some things going, but I'm not sure if Cade is still in the right space and I'm not sure if the offensive line is going to give enough of what you need to feel good about putting 30 in this game. I'm going Clemson 23, Georgia Tech 20. I think it's going to be a one-score. I think it's going to be a one-score game. I think both teams are going to try to run the football and try to not throw it, too much. Hopefully, especially in Clemson's case. I just because good things have not been happening when they've tried to throw the ball a lot. So maybe they get some things going. Maybe hit a couple big plays. When they have success running the football, but I can't see. I can't pick this team to score 30 with what I've seen through 2 weeks. I'm 23-20. They find a way to win and keep themselves above water, heading into next week.
Sounds good. I could definitely see a slugfest like that. Both teams running the ball, having success, but not a ton of success. Having their moments. So I could definitely see that. Got a couple score predictions in here from the chat section. Let's see. David Wood says 28-17. I'm assuming he's picking Clemson.
Yeah.
He said Cade needs CBD. He might need to. He needs to calm down. He needs to calm down. Els King says 31-13 Georgia Tech.
That's going to be a hell of a post-game show.
Hey. I don't even know. Absolutely not. No. I refuse.
We've seen. We haven't had our Duke. If this team is like 2023, we haven't had our Duke performance yet.
That's it.
That looks very similar.
Yeah.
And the more I think of the similarities of this game and Duke, makes me a little uncomfortable.
It's a little uneasy.
A lot uncomfortable, actually.
Yeah. Fumble the ball 2-3 times in the red zone. Turn it over. Can't get off the field on third down. Yeah, that's how 31-13 happens.
Yeah.
David, thank you again for being one of our channel members and supporting the show in that way. He says 24-17. Good guys, I'm assuming. Yes, he says Clemson. Joe Long, he's right along with you, Jordan. He said 24-20. So you guys have very similar score predictions there.
Because Joe is a ball.
Marcus, 24-17. Georgia Tech wins.
That's well within the realm of possibility.
I would not be shocked. Isaac Smith, 24-21, Clemson. Intelligent Savage, 24-13, Tigers on top.
I'll take that. I mean, I'll take a win no matter how it looks, considering what we've seen. Just win football games. You remember what we said after the LSU game, shut up and win football games?
Yeah, shut up and win football games. That's why I said earlier, it don't really matter if Clemson wins this game by 1 point or 14 points, right? Like, you just need to win this game. Like, you got to win the game. So as long as you do that, we'll be okay. Author, one of our other channel members, thank you so much for supporting the show in that way on a monthly basis. 27-21 Clemson. Yes, Jordan is really 6'5".
Yeah,
believe it or not.
I might be 6'4.5". I haven't measured it in a minute. Next time I go to the doctor, I'll see if they'll give me that extra half inch. I'm not sure, but I just say I round up for
close enough, right?
It's close enough.
Close enough.
It's not a big 6'5", but it's 6'5". It counts regardless. I'm not 6'5", 250, but
yeah,
we got the height going.
The height is there.
Yeah, I do need to be on. Somebody come recruit me. No, I'm out of eligibility. The frustrating thing with me growing up was because I was pretty short for most of high school. I was like 5'9". I was probably like 5'6" freshman year, 5'6", 5'7", and I was around that height until the end of junior year, and I just shot up like a root. And
you were one of those kids where you left for summer break. You came back the next year, and everybody's like, "What the? Who the hell?"
Yeah,
is that?
I came back. I stopped. It was kind of like Tobey Maguire in the old Spider-Man movie when he stopped. He came to school and he wasn't like he showed up. He was ripped and he wasn't wearing glasses anymore because he got the powers. That was me coming back senior year. Was like
everybody was like,
I didn't come back jacked, but I was like all of a sudden I was like 6 foot. And then I kept growing through college, and so now I'm probably about 6'4.5", 6'5", something like that. Still tall, lanky, skinny, but still 6'5".
There you go.
We're changing that though. I've been in the gym lately, so we're getting the gains going.
Work in progress.
Yeah, work in progress. Getting my well, it's just too late to get my beach bod going, but we'll be ready for next summer. That's
next year's beach bod.
Next year's beach bod, where we're getting there.
It's always next year, next year.
Yeah, I was definitely one of I was definitely a late bloomer. I still played sports, but probably would have been a lot better if I had hit my growth spurt sooner.
If you would have hit your growth spurt around sophomore year, it might have been a different ball game there.
Yeah. Because was not, I played JV and that was about it for me in football, and I focused on basketball, but was limited there. And then before junior year, I was like, it's not going to happen. Maybe I quit too soon.
Yeah, you just had to wait one more off season.
Yeah. Well, yeah, one more off season, but it is what it is. I mean, I got a tall family. My dad's 6'4". My mom is 5'10". My uncle was 6'5". Actually, he was 6'6". My grandfather, my maternal grandfather was 6. I want to say 6'2", 6'3". He died when I was 3, but I think he was about, if I remember correctly, he was about 6'3". I got a tall family. So I was the weird one for a little while. Mom took me to an endocrinologist and everything. It's like, is this boy even
What's
going?
wrong with him?
Yeah, what's wrong with him? But it was just one of those things. A late bloomer, and ended up being pretty tall. So, thankfully, I did not want to be shorter than my little brother. That was because he didn't. Because he grew,
you never want to be
pretty normally. He was pretty fast.
You never want to be a short one in a family full of tall people.
Yeah, no. No, being the oldest and being shorter than your little sibling. I mean, I know people that.
Yeah, that's tough. Yeah,
that's not a good look, man. But I was saved from that fate. It was looking pretty dicey there for a little bit. All right.
All right.
I think that's a good time to kick it to the comment section.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll go ahead and kick it to you guys in the comment section. Before we get to that, like and subscribe. Obviously, this is a live video, so hit that like button while you guys are in here. It really helps us out. Consider subscribing. Me and Jordan do this show, the All In Show, every Tuesday, 8 p.m. Also do a post-game live video reaction following every single Clemson game. So make sure you stay tuned for that as well. And we would appreciate your guys' support and hanging out with us. Don't forget, get your BYOG yourselves in the comment section as well while we're chopping it up with you guys. And don't forget the channel memberships. If you want to become a channel member, get some access to some exclusive content with me and Jordan, some game watch-alongs and things of that nature. Make sure you go ahead and hit that channel membership. Join. You can select from 3 different tiers, whichever one you want. And it's just a monthly supporting the channel on a monthly basis. So we appreciate our 2 channel members that we have, Arthur and David. Appreciate you guys and look forward to having a few more of you join so that our game streams can get a little bit bigger.
Absolutely. Let's see. Dave said, "I need help cleaning out my gutters." Yeah, you get in line, buddy. I've had a few last ones. Yeah.
Jordan can't go in Walmart without somebody asking him to get something off the top shelf.
Dude, you have no idea. Oh my God.
Why do they put their extra stock all the way up there on that shelf? Because I'm not a short person, right? I'm not 6'5". I'm about 5'11", right? So I'm not short by any means.
You're above average.
But why they got to put it all the way up there? I can't even reach it up there. Why you put it up there, man? Come on.
It's so high that I still, I got long arms, thankfully, but it makes things difficult. It's like they make those shelves for I guess Wilt Chamberlain or something. I don't know.
Call for assistance. And wait 45 minutes for one of you to show up. No, I'm gonna climb these shelves. And if I break something, it's on you.
It's on you. It's on you. Let's see. Intelligent Savage asks, when will Jay Haynes return to the lineup for us at running back? And why do you guys think we haven't seen more of Tristan Smith at wide receiver? Jay Haynes, I mean, he
had a setback. His knee's fine. He was rehabbing, working his way back with his knee, and I think he had a quad strain while he was doing his kind of ramp up to be able to start practicing full speed, I think. So I'm sure that's going to set him back. I don't know how long. So last we heard is he had a quad strain and he was going to be out longer than they anticipated because I think he was getting pretty close to being back when that injury happened. So it's unfortunate for him, tough setback. So I think it'll probably still be a couple weeks before we hear about Jay Haynes again.
Yeah. As in regards to Tristan Smith, I don't know. I mean, Dabo talked about it in his press conference today, and he said, we've only run 55 plays or 60 plays, and we just haven't gotten him on the field. We need to get him on the field more. I'm like, hey, that's your job you literally have control over that during the game. But
yeah, I hate when coaches say stuff like that and pretend like they're not in complete control of if and when that happens. Like, it's just so I don't know. It's really annoying when they say stuff like that.
Yeah,
It's like, you do know you run this team, right? Like,
yeah, it's like why didn't he play? I couldn't tell you.
You can put in whoever you want, whenever you want. There's literally no one that can tell you no.
Right.
Not a person, not a single person. So again, why isn't Tristan Smith in the game? And he would have had a touchdown last week if Cade would have made a better throw.
Yeah, unfortunately. I was hyped for him too. He did that.
Yeah,
that was That would have been that was an energy boost. Like, you could feel it didn't end up counting, but those seconds of where the team was rallying around him, and then he was getting hype on the sideline. Like, you felt like, I mean, everything you've heard about Tristan Smith throughout the offseason about just how happy he is to be a Tiger, how happy he is to be here, and how appreciative he's been of the opportunity. Like, you saw it right there. Like, the passion and you could tell how much it meant.
I hate that got wiped away.
Yeah, I know. I was hoping. His knee was down, but
it's not the NFL, so it doesn't matter. But that's a touchdown in the NFL.
Yeah. Well, but it still counts in my heart. He's got a receiving touchdown in my heart.
Yeah.
I know that doesn't count in the stat book, but we don't care about that right now. Isaac Smith, BYOG or sell. Clemson holds Georgia Tech to under 125 rushing yards. Ooh. It's a tough. I mean, it's a tough. I mean, I think I think if you do, I mean, obviously your chances of winning, go up pretty exponentially.
I think if they do that, Clemson wins the game. Because right now Georgia Tech's got 543 rushing yards on the season. 7.2 yard average per carry. So they've been putting up some numbers.
That's at what, 270 on the ground per game right now?
Yeah.
I know it's 2 games, and everybody's sample sizes are going to be weird. I mean, Clemson's defense, I think, has largely played good through 2 games, but they're like 52nd in total defense right now. Like, because that's just – it's 2 games, and Clemson has played – I mean, they played a really good team. And a Troy team who I think played a lot better than I expected. So they've probably played a better 2 games than a lot of teams in the country have. But you've seen Georgia Tech and they're right. I mean, I think those numbers aren't truly like inflated. Like they're a really good rushing team. I guess that 125 number, ultimately it comes down to, do we think Jamal Haynes has a big run? Because I think if Georgia Tech gets to that number, yes. I think it starts with Jamal Haynes probably had a 40, 50-yard run, somewhere in that 50-plus yard run, which I think is certainly within the realm of possibility.
I mean, there's no way we go an entire game with what we know of this defense so far and how they played, and they played pretty well, but they have given up some explosives on the ground. And the Georgia Tech attack. I don't think you can go into this game not expecting them to have probably a couple of explosive runs in this game. You just hope that they aren't, explosive touchdown runs.
Yeah.
And you can kind of bounce back from them and maybe hold them to a field goal or something like that. But, I think it would be – I think you're just lying to yourself if you say Georgia Tech don't break off a couple explosives in the running game. Whether that be Haynes King or Justice Haynes, either one, or one of their other running backs, because they got some dudes behind him as well that can run the football. But just for contrast, they're averaging like 270 yards a game on the ground. We've rushed for a whopping 151 yards this season
through 2 games.
They've rushed for 540 yards.
It's pretty. that really puts things into perspective. I mean,
yeah. So essentially, they've rushed for 400 more yards than us.
how many rushing yards does Jamal Haynes have on the season?
I will tell you in just a second. He's got 157.
So you're telling me
Jamal Haynes has outrushed the entire Clemson team, yes, by himself.
sick. That's just wonderful. That's just wonderful. That really.
He's also got a much better yards per rush.
I bet.
Essentially double the yards per rush. So there's that. It's not great. It's not great.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to sell.
Yeah, I think they go over 125. I really do. If they're under 125, Clemson's defense has a big day. A big day.
And you'll probably need some sack yard. Like I think it'll help if you get some sack yardage.
And honestly, like Georgia Tech, if you look at their stats, like they've been pretty balanced this year. Yeah. They got like 543 yards rushing and like 600 yards passing on the season. So,
yeah, I mean I think a lot of the passing is from that. It's come from Aaron Philo too. So but that tells you what the confidence they have and kind of how the dynamic of that offense changes when he comes into the game. It gives them a little bit more of a vertical threat. So. Yeah,
and I think we definitely see him in this game.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think we'll see him too. Yeah, even if Haynes King
is fully healthy, or fully healthy, as healthy as he can be, I still think you see Philo in this game. I don't think there's any world where he doesn't play some.
Yeah, and that makes me a little concerned. Yeah.
I mean, if you look at ESPN, their little matchup predictor thing actually has Georgia Tech winning the game.
Yeah, I mean FBI is pretty low on Clemson. I mean they were low on Clemson before the LSU game. Clemson's rating like dropped without a game being played like a few weeks ago. It was strange, but maybe FBI was right. Maybe they knew what they were talking about.
Maybe. Philo's their leading passer this season so far. He's got 373 yards passing. Haynes King has 143.
Yeah, 143 through 2. Yeah, I mean that tells it all right there.
Yeah.
David Lowry says BYOG or sell. Adam Randall 100 yards rushing. Cade 300 yards passing. I'm selling on the 300 yards passing for Cade right now.
I don't know about that.
Because he's just flat out like.
I mean, the offense does get some stuff figured out this week, but I don't know. I don't know if it goes like that. 300 yards passing.
Yeah, I mean, even last year when Cade was at his best, he wasn't averaging 300 yards passing yards.
That's a lot of yards. So I think I'm out on that. I'm selling.
Yeah.
Now Randall could certainly do the 100 yards on the ground.
Yeah. I think
that should happen. that should happen.
With how much volume they gave him last week, I mean,
he had 21 carries last week. So
if you're getting 5 yards a clip,
as long as he gets as long as he gets similar carries in the Georgia Tech game, I think he probably hits that 100-yard mark.
Yeah,
I would.
They can break out. I mean, really, it's just about. I mean, he was 5 yards a clip. He had a big run. Like that doesn't seem like a stretch to happen. Arthur Moss says, guys, I need to see better out of the offense to get me back in the right frame of mind. BYOG, Cade returns to the Cade of last year. In this game, or just at some point this season.
I think he's probably referring to this game.
This game, I hope so, but I don't know what changes in this game to the point where all of a sudden Cade is like he shakes everything off from the last 2 weeks and just I don't know. I mean, we've seen him respond in games and play well. I mean, obviously the App State game last year after Georgia is the big example of like just the stark contrast. You were like, wow, where's this been? But I don't know. Also, I guess after South Carolina, we played well against SMU and Texas. So, he's certainly, we've seen him bounce back from poor performances. But we said that last week, and it was more of the same mostly. So I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if you can rely on that happening. But yeah, as far as this game, if you're talking about this game, I'm going to sell. I don't. I think he'll play a little bit better than he's had the previous 2 weeks, but as far as returning to 2024 form, I can't predict that happening right now.
I think he'll look better this week. I don't know if he'll be, Cade Klubnik's second half against Texas, but I think he'll be better this week. I think he'll take some strides.
Yeah,
he just got to settle down. He's got to trust what he's seeing, and he's got to stop getting happy feet in the pocket. Because there's a lot of times where he's creating his own pass rush. He's not helping his offensive line out. When you're running out of the pocket for no reason, you're not helping your offensive line.
Nope. Let's see. John, BYOG or Sell, the offense comes out hair on fire in the first half and sputters second half, keeping Georgia Tech in the game. Ooh. That's a script. That's a game script that wouldn't surprise me either. But yeah, I mean, last week it was the offense completely sputtering in the first half, and then they fed off of the plays made by the defense and got some things going. Yeah, that's a script we haven't seen this year where the offense starts out great. So yeah, that would be very on brand. I'll buy that actually. I could see Clemson having a good game plan. They get some things going early, but then Tech adjusts, and maybe they put up 14. Maybe they put up 2 touchdowns in the first half, and then it's a field goal, and then they I picked 23-20. So in my case, it'd be like, oh, maybe they score like 14 or 17 in the first half, and then they could only muster it's like 17-6 at halftime, and you're feeling good, and then all of a sudden Clemson starts stalling on drives, or maybe a turnover, and all of a sudden Georgia Tech's back in the football game. They put together a couple of big drives. They run the football. I'll buy that.
Mm-hmm.
Isaac Smith, BYOG or Sell. AJ Hoffler records a sack on Saturday. That would make me sick to my stomach, but it's possible. Especially if with how the tackle play has been to this point this year.
Yeah, and I don't think Tristan Lee is going to be back.
Yeah.
So,
well, shoot, I honestly, if Tristan Lee was in the game, I'd actually.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
I might be more inclined to buy, to be honest.
Yeah, he has not played well this year. No. He has not played well. I mean, even it's the craziest thing because even Blake Miller's been a little shaky this year. And he's been the constant for 3 years now.
Yeah.
And this year he's kind of he's taking his lumps early this year.
Yeah, I mean, and he had his presser today, and he said he could feel the tenseness from the guys, like the rest of the line. He had to pull them to the side and say like, "Oh, this is not how we're supposed to play." Like, right. I'm glad he's being a leader, and it's like, it starts with you too. You gotta play better.
Yeah, I think there's something to be said about that because it does look like the offense is tight, right? Like they're not playing loose, they're not playing free, they're not trusting, their preparation. They're just very tense, very timid, trying not to make mistakes. And typically when you play like that, you make a lot of mistakes. So see if they can get it turned around this week.
Yep. All right, let's do a couple more.
Just go out physical somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like, just
Intelligent Savage says, BYG or sell, Clemson becomes a better road team this season than home performing team this season. Ooh.
We haven't been great at home as of late. So
yeah, we haven't been great at home, but I'm still gonna sell that. I mean, we haven't seen this team on the road yet. I don't know how they're gonna respond to this weekend. I mean, we can revisit this. We can revisit this one after Georgia Tech week, but after the game. But so far, I mean, I'm inclined to believe that this team will still be a better home team because it's really never been the case in recent seasons where Clemson has been a better road team than an away team. I mean, last year, I guess technically you were better on the road last season.
Yeah, they were
by record, but were you really? I mean, I think you just played better teams at home.
Yeah,
I mean, Louisville and South Carolina. But it's hard to compare because they're just. I mean, last season was kind of a new thing in terms of losing multiple games at home in the regular season.
Yeah, we need to cut that out. That's getting old real quick. Losing at home is, not something we're used to.
Because even 2023, they lost at Duke. They lost at home against Florida State. I think that was their one home loss, and then they lost at Miami, at NC State, and that's it. And then they won out the rest of the year.
Yeah.
So, including a home win over Notre Dame. So I mean there just hasn't been many. Last season was kind of the exception in terms of, Clemson being a better road team, but record wise. Paul, he says BYOG or sell. D-line will have 5 sacks against Georgia Tech. I think I'm going to sell. I think that's a high number for a team that runs the ball as high of a volume as they do. I think it's going to have to come when Aaron Philo is in the game and you just get some pressure. Yeah. Maybe he doesn't see it well and he holds the ball too long because he's still.
Yeah, I don't think you get a ton of sacks because Georgia Tech knows that Clemson can get pressure, and they're not just going to sit back there and hold the ball. Like, they're going to get it out quick. They're going to do the same thing that LSU did, the same thing that Troy did to negate your pass rush. When they are throwing the ball, they're going to get it out quickly. Yeah. They're not going to give you time to get home. So, I don't think we'll get 5.
I mean,
we may get a couple sacks in the game, but I don't see 5. That's a big number.
I mean, how many sacks did Clemson have last week? 3. Yeah. And one of them was because of a bad snap.
Yeah,
it worked out. I think TJ Parker's sack, that was the one where it was a bad snap.
Yeah.
And Will Help got one, but I think that one was more of a coverage sack. Like there's this team is just. I mean, they've gotten pressure. They haven't gotten home a ton, but that's also just because teams have been quick gaming them to death. At least LSU and Troy both did that effectively at different points. And with Georgia Tech, they're going to be able. I mean, they've got guys that can certainly do that, and they're going to run the football. So it's just the opportunities for sacks. I think 5 is. I mean, in any game is a high number, but especially a team like Georgia Tech with their style of play is going to make it difficult. But we'll see if you tell me Clemson has 5 sacks against Georgia Tech, I feel almost as close to 100% confident that Clemson wins the football game because that tells me they have to pass the ball.
and hold them under that 125 mark from earlier, yeah, you won it, guaranteed.
Which isn't crazy. Yeah, which isn't crazy to like. I mean, it's not like a hot take, but I mean, it means they that tells me like, hey, you got up early. They had to get away from their game script. They felt like they had to pass the ball to get back in the game, and I don't think that's their strong suit. At least not with Haynes King in the game, and Aaron Philo still being a young guy that hasn't played a defense to the caliber of Clemson's yet. Like, yeah, I mean, I think I feel pretty good about that. All right, we'll do one more from one of our channel members, David Lowry. He says BYG or sell TJ Parker has a sack. He's got one. He got his one last week.
I'll buy because
sure.
I mean, if anybody's going to get a sack on the team, he's probably the betting favorite to get a sack. If Clemson gets one sack in the game against Georgia Tech, and I had to bet on who got that sack, I'm probably going to pick TJ Parker. So, yeah, I'll buy that because I do think they get a sack or two in this game. So, and I think he's the most likely one to come up with it. So, yeah, I'll buy that.
Yeah, I pick him. And honestly, with the struggle, the struggles that Tech has had so far at center and snapping the football. One of the interior guys. Maybe it's Peter Woods, but honestly, like Stephylon Green
is the one that comes to my mind.
He's waiting to get one.
Yeah.
When I watch his pass rush snaps, I mean, he's waiting to get one. So
he looks really good this year, man. He's definitely grown quite a bit. Peter Wood looked good last week, though.
Oh yeah,
he blew up some running lanes. Like, I mean, I'm saying getting double teamed.
Yeah,
and just
splitting
a double team and tackling the running back with like legit one arm.
Yep.
I mean, if that don't show how physically dominant he is as a player, like I don't know what else you need to see.
I mean, there's not many guys, not just that have come through Clemson.
You see a play like that, and to the average fan, like it don't look like much, right? But that's not easy to do. Like that is hard.
Yeah.
I don't care if you're playing Troy or not. Like that's not easy.
That's special stuff. I mean, he's one of the best I've seen. Just God-given like power in his hands and just the leverage he plays with for a guy that doesn't have one of the only knocks against him coming out of high school was that he doesn't have long arms, but it doesn't matter because he's just so violent.
Mm-hmm.
That's just it's stuff you can't teach. He one of the most gifted players regardless of position that have come through here. It really is a marvel watching him play football. That's my Peter Woods glaze before we get on off of here.
Yeah, he deserves it. He deserves it.
He deserves it. I mean, special player, man. Wish we had gotten more of him last year with injuries, but kind of how I felt about Brian Brzee coming out. He feels like our time's already running short with him, and it's like feels like he just got here. But
yeah, it's crazy. Brian Brzee was one of those players that like he was special, but we never got to see the best of Brian Brzee, just due to a lot of different things, but mainly injuries. Not that he was disappointing. It's just like his career didn't go quite, like we wanted it to, or he wanted it to really either. It got hampered by a lot of things.
It's not with Peter Woods. It's not to that. It hasn't been to that.
No.
We've seen him far more, but just like you feel like you could have gotten more out of. I mean, especially if you didn't move positions move his position last year.
Yeah, I think that did not work out at all. I think it did a disservice to him. It did a disservice to the team. That was not the best decision.
Yeah.
But
Special player, man. I mean, I think his best foot. I mean, I think his best football is still ahead of him, and that's why as frustrating as these first two games have been, I mean, you still got some dudes, man. Like, enjoy watching them play while they're here, because
that's what I'm saying, man. Like,
going.
As I was kind of like getting my mind right for the show today, and that's kind of why I led the show with it. It just kind of hit me. I'm like, we're already in week 3. Like, it feels like we just started.
Yeah.
And, we're about to be 3 games in already. Like, it goes by fast, man. So
yeah,
it's been frustrating, no doubt about it. But we got to remember to enjoy some of these players while they're here, because Peter Woods ain't going to be here next year.
Nope.
TJ Parker ain't going to be here next year.
Nope.
Will Helt ain't going to be here next year.
I don't think.
I don't think.
He could come back.
Could be.
I don't know. But we'll see.
Antonio Williams ain't gonna be here next year.
Nope.
Cade Klubnik ain't gonna be here next year, right?
Nope.
Like, Wade Wood-ass not gonna be here next year.
He's gone.
Right? So, we got to enjoy some of these players through the frustration. Got to keep it in perspective that this is a finite amount of time that we get to watch college football. So.
And I mean, that's what you have to do. I mean, and that's what I do in the NFL, especially because my team sucks. So, hey, I love watching Jeff Simmons play. I mean, he's a joy to watch. One of the best defensive linemen in the league. And it's like, man, Cam Ward looks promising. I mean, the years where obviously when we had Derrick Henry, that was a time, man. We weren't always great. But just watching him run the ball was, that's the thing about football that I think gets, as fans we get lost, especially when we're a fan of a specific team. It's like, okay, so yeah, we have these good players, but if they're not, if the team collectively isn't playing good, I can't get over that. And I think sometimes, and I get that, and it's hard for me too, but I think. Part of what makes the sport great is, the individual players too. I mean, it's some of the, because it's a joy to watch. It's a hard sport to play. I mean, those of us that have played it, and I'm talking like I'm some vet, but anybody that's played football at any level, I mean, it's a difficult sport, and to excel at it on an individual basis is. It's hard, man. It's difficult in a team, in a game with 22 players on the field between both teams to stand out and to make an impact. So when you see players, the individual performances, and truly great players, you got to appreciate them.
You do, and it's hard, man. It's hard to put that in perspective as a fan, because you care so much and you're so passionate about it. But I tell you, one of the things that's helped me I've kind of chilled out over the past couple of years, much more than I used to be. I used to be way more amped up during games than I am now. But part of it is like this, like the show that we do, like we've been doing this for 4 years now. Like, I don't know what it is about it, but it just I relax a little bit more.
It eases my mind, yeah.
Maybe because we got to come on here and try to be somewhat level-headed and have coherent thoughts.
Not pull and not like throw shit at the
not like take my table over and throw my laptop and put a chair through the window. I can't do stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
So I think this show is.
It'd be great content, but
it would make there'd be a lot of views. We'd get way more views if we just came on here and started throwing stuff. But I don't know. Mark may show us the door if we start doing crazy stuff like that.
Yeah. Maybe one of these days, maybe a loss to an FCS team will do.
Yeah, they keep it up. I'm not above.
maybe losing to Furman might do it. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not above back in the pool. Okay, so keep testing me, Clemson. Freak out.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. Championship culture has ruined the enjoyment for some people. It does. But I mean, when you play when you're a fan of a place like Clemson, like it's not wrong to have the expectations that we do.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
so like there's also a line there, right? Like I don't want to go to be like, oh, just be happy to be watching the team. That's not what I'm saying at all. And I don't think that's what you're saying either. It's like, yes, enjoy college football while it's here because we miss it so much in the offseason, but also like fully aware that we should have the expectations that we do at Clemson. And I think Dabo's done a little bit better as of late, understanding fan frustration and expectation. At least when he's fielding questions about it. There was a few years ago there that like he was like
He get mad.
He got mad at the fans and blah 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 and like all that stuff. But now when he fields questions about it, he's like, I get it. They were booing. He's like, I wanted to boo too. Like we weren't playing well.
Which tells you what he thinks of this team, like what
and they should have high expectations.
Yeah.
So
it tells you a lot of what he thought about this team preseason. Like
I think I mean,
he thought he was
very candid in his interviews about this team, and you can see the frustration, you can see the disappointment with how they've played. Specifically, Cade, like he don't mince any words. He's like, he's not playing well, so I don't know what you want me to do. Like he's got to play well for the team to play well, which is true. I mean, at a certain point, your best players have to go out there and execute.
Yep.
And they have not been doing that. And it's not just Cade. There's a lot of people out there not executing. So we'll see if they can get a turnaround this week, though. Big test in Georgia Tech. So got to come out of there with a win. It's going to be a noon kick. I'm going to be at a softball tournament. It's going to be crazy. You guys are going to see me on location, not in my normal setup right here with all my Clemson garb everywhere. But we'll make it happen regardless. That's why I got YouTube TV. I can watch it anywhere, no matter where I'm at. If I got a cell phone signal, I'm good to go.
Dude, I tell people, I mean, YouTube. There's no other competition than you. It's worth the price with what you get.
It is. And I really like. So this is my first year with YouTube TV. This is not a promo, by the way, for YouTube TV. Although it should be. They should sponsor us.
Hashtag not sponsored. Yeah.
Hashtag not sponsored. But previously, I've always had Hulu Live. And it's not like Hulu Live's great. Like there's a ton of shows on there that I watch and all that kind of stuff. And I do like Hulu Live. But it's always behind. If I'm watching a stream or something during a game, it really pisses me off that I'm always behind. And I got to
Hulu's like really behind. Like
I got to pause the stream to get them a little bit behind me so that I'm like plays aren't being ruined. So it's nice with YouTube TV now that I have that. Like I'm on par or ahead of people, right? So that's nice. And then the multi-view is really sweet too because watch.
Yeah, I mean it's been a revelation to sports.
That multi-view is clutch because I don't got 47 TVs in my house, so I got to put it on one screen.
Before they implemented it, you know what? I put it on the TV, then I'd log in on my laptop, and then I put another stream on my phone. Like, ain't no reason to be doing all that.
Yeah,
if I don't have multiple TVs, like
doing all this, I like the multi-view. And I like that you can customize it how you want, put the games in there that you want. So it's cool. It's been good. I've enjoyed it so far through 2 weeks. So
it gets even better. I mean, when we get, obviously week 1 was great, but like Wet Sox a double TV setup with the main game on one and multi-view on the other. Yeah, that's a great way to do it, man. You can't go back after that.
You way more fancy than me, Wes. So I haven't set up yet. Man, I'm gonna get it one day. One of these days, I'm gonna get it. But today ain't that day. So I got a baby screen. When a Clemson game is on, like I'm only watching the Clemson game. So that just is what it is. If there's another big game, I'm just gonna miss it. I'll go back and watch it later if I really want to watch it. Because I'm a crazy person. I'll go back and watch games that already passed. I don't care.
Oh yeah, I mean, I do. I go back and watch all the time.
I'm all about it. So, but yeah, when a Clemson game's on, I'm locked on to the Clemson game. I'm not multicasting anything. It's just that game because I want to pay attention and not miss anything. All right, guys. I think that's going to do it for tonight. We've been on here a little over 2 hours. Appreciate each and every one of you guys showing up with us, chopping it up with us tonight. I got 32 people in the live chat. Hit that like button if you haven't already on your way out. Consider subscribing. We do this show year-round, the All-In Show year-round. We also do the post-game live reactions to every single Clemson game, which we will do this Saturday immediately following the Georgia Tech game. So stay tuned for that. Hope you guys have a great rest of the week. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your support. And yeah, y'all have a good week. Until next time, I'm TPC. He's Jordan Bowman. Go Tigers.
Later, y'all.